What's going on, people? Jeff Brown coming to you live and direct from Killeen, Texas, with Jeff's Wild World of Boxing. Before I get started today, just want to send out my condolences to Team Cotto, Miguel Cotto, and his family. Unfortunately, Miguel Cotto Sr. lost his life this past weekend, apparently of an asthma attack or a heart attack. It really has not been confirmed, but Miguel Cotto Sr., as some of you may know, did have a history of asthma, and apparently this same asthma caused him to have some problems back home in Cagos, Puerto Rico, where he tried to obtain help for himself, and help did not arrive in time, unfortunately. But once again, a big RIP and condolences out to the Cotto family. Hopefully, we'll see him in the ring again sometime real soon. It's a tough deal, and I just want to show my support for that family. Otherwise, getting to the subject at hand, I know a lot of you guys are wondering where I get my information from. There's been a lot of questions about that. I've been catching a lot of flack for a lot of things lately, but one thing I want to make clear right now that I am not is a dude that just pulls this stuff out of thin air. Like any other boxing fan, I get my information from the same places you guys do, from Yahoo Sports, from any boxing website that I can find here on the internet, from ESPN, you name it, I'm trying to find it. HBO Boxing, the whole nine. It's all gonna be brought to you firsthand. And as you can see, when I do my thing, I don't have no papers around. There's my little girl right there. But when I do this thing, what people don't understand is I bring it to you raw, uncut, no retakes, no nothing. I bring it to you live and direct. Spoken word. I don't need a paper or anything. The only thing I might pull out every now and then is a magazine or two. Number one, to show my support and love to that magazine. Mainly, and any magazine I'm going to mention as well, any magazine I pull out will be the Ring magazine. And because it's the Bible of boxing, you know 9 times out of 10, it is fact. So therefore, with that same premise in mind, I'll bring it to you as much as I can. 9 times out of 10, 99% fact. Okay? The other 1% is going to be opinion. But getting to the subject at hand once again, I know a lot of people have asked me about the Mosley and Berto fight and my predictions of how I feel about it, who I think is going to win. And I do believe I did a prior video speaking a little bit about that fight before. So I want to speak on it again a little bit for those of you that missed it the first time. Um, Basically, my prediction has changed just a tiny little bit, but I still say that as far as experience, overall opposition, as far as the fighters that these two guys have fight, there's really no comparison. The edge and experience and opposition definitely has to go to Shane Mosley. Berto, as I've said before, I've watched him since he's come out and been as a prospect all the way up to this point. And to be honest with you, you know, he's a very good seasoned veteran. He's got an alphabet belt just like Shane Mosley has an alphabet belt. And I think this will be a very competitive fight. I don't think you'll see one real big blowout, but there is two questions that are out there. The question of the chin of Andre Berto, or is this the night that Shane Mosley finally gets old? Because keep in mind, people, once this fight comes off, the night of the fight, Shane Mosley will be 38 years old. Okay? And for as boxing fans, if you know boxing history out there, in the past, you know, it's very rare here in the last few, like I would say 10 years, we've just seen freaks of nature. Bernard Hopkins, your George Foremans, you know, thank people like that that are being able to defy the odds and even in their old age continue on fighting at the highest levels. With the exception of probably Evander Holyfield, Shane Mosley and Bernard Hopkins are literally freaks in nature. They keep themselves in great shape. And for them to be the ages that they are and still be able to do it at the level that they do it at is impressive. Um, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. But like I said, experience will win out over youth 9 times out of 10. But in this case, I can't really say this is a pick and fight. But if I had to pick a winner for this fight, I would have to give the edge to Mosley. Like I said, I love Berto. He's a good fighter. I wouldn't call him great, There are a few questions out there. Can he, stand up to the hand speed and the power of Shane Mosley? Will his chin hold up? Because he did get shaken up a couple times in the Collazo fight, and let's not forget Shane Mosley's not invincible either anymore. We know that he's beaten some of the best, and he's been beaten by some of the best. So what we're getting here is a good solid, what I like to call career crossroads fight. It's a title fight. It's a fight that people want to see, but at the same time, it's a crossroads fight because one is going to be on the way up, and the other is going to be on the way down. So it's really hard for me to decipher, how this fight is really going to turn out. But if I had to make a decision, like I said before, it's going to go to a unanimous, to a 12-round decision, and it'll probably end up going in Mosley's favor, most likely. But if I had to guess at how this fight was going to go, I would say it will be a real competitive, real tactical fight. You're going to see the best of Berto, and you're going to see the best of Shane Mosley, like you always see, except when he's just doesn't have the right game plan. Otherwise, you're going to get the best out of both of these guys, and it should be a great fight. But otherwise, 12-round decision, Shane Mosley. Now, on to the most crucial part. Yes, we know. It's never ending. It's still going on, and today could be the day that we get the final determination on whether or not Pacquiao-Mayweather will happen come March 13th. I myself truly believe, as I've said before, that this fight will not take place based off of two things. One, I never really felt like from the get-go, from the time that this fight was talked about, which was basically before and after the Cotto fight, that this was going to be one of those deals where Pacquiao was going to be ready to get himself into tip-top shape and be in full condition and ready by March 13th for a fight of this caliber. Okay? So I never really believed that the fight was going to happen right away in the springtime. I felt like more towards the fall, based off of the fact that in the past, Mayweather, being Mayweather, has found ways to push stuff out. Nobody really knows why that is. I'm not bashing Floyd for that. That's just Floyd. That's what he does. And people, once again, he has a right to do that. The man has beaten every man put in front of him. Let's not forget that. Pacquiao has not. Besides a bullshit-ass decision that he got going against him with Eric Morales, he has been beaten before. He is not invincible. He can be beaten. Let's not forget that. So when you hear me talk about Floyd and Pacquiao, I'm an unbiased judge because I'm a fan of both of these guys. Let's not forget that. Okay? So to all you Filipino fans out there, all you Pacquiao lovers out there, I'm not hating on you guys. I'm an unbiased observer. I'm going to call it like I see it, regardless. Okay? But as of today, there will be mediation to determine if this fight is going to happen. Hopefully it will, but if not, we will possibly get either Pacquiao-malignaggi, which I've heard here just in the last few days that may not no longer be a possibility because Pacquiao-malignaggi does not bring the type of money, even enough legitimate money to the table to make that a very competitive fight. And plus, 9 times out of 10, Pacquiao might run over the guy anyway because he's feather fisting, and he had, besides the Juan Diaz fight, I really haven't really been impressed by Malignaggi, even though he's coming out now making charges about Pacquiao and whatnot. That's neither here nor there. That's not the fight that people want to see. So Bob Arum, in turn, has basically come up with a backup plan for Pacquiao to possibly move up to the junior middleweight division and fight Yuri Foreman for his belt. People, I gotta say this, and I'm gonna close it out real quick. And I just want you to feel me on this real quick. And once again, this is not to hate on the Pacquiao fans or none of that. But I will say this. If Pacquiao moves up to that weight, to the 154 weight class, and knocks this man out, you have to question it. But thank you for watching. Get back at your boy.